Quick video. Do not have much to say regarding these last few playoff games, but the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Utah Jazz, and Will Barton. Wow. I cannot believe what the three of y'all did in those games last night. I can't believe it. Let's talk about the Timberwolves first though. They blew multiple 20-point leads. Biggest lead was 26 points. They had multiple 20-point leads against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they blew both of them. First one, Memphis cuts it down to 7 going into the second half. Whoop de whoop whoop. And then third quarter, Minnesota, they come out with a run of their own. They get a big lead again. So I know. I just turned that game off. Like, alright, whatever. It looks like Minnesota's going to run away with this game. No, they don't. Because following that, the Memphis Grizzlies go on a 26-2 run, but they had 21 unanswered points, spanning from the third and the fourth quarter. And what I don't get with this big run is why Chris Finch didn't call a timeout after they get a 15-0 run or after they cut the lead down to 10 points. Because I can understand you want to play through a 7-0 run, 10-0 run, 12-0 run, hell, maybe even 15. But once they cut it down to 10, 9, 7 points, you got to call a timeout because obviously they don't know the answers. And he didn't call a timeout. I don't get that. I don't get it at all. Like 21 unanswered points, 26-2 over the span of the third and the fourth quarter, and they blow that game. And Ja Morant did not shoot the ball well. Had a triple-double though, 16, 10, and 10, I believe. I just don't get how you don't call a timeout right there. And of course, Karl Anthony Towns, 5 blocks, which is great, but 5 personal fouls, 5 rebounds, 4 shot attempts. I know Memphis plays a great defense, but their defense wasn't so suffocating to the point that Karl Anthony Towns can only muster up 4 shot attempts. Only 4 shot attempts. And like this has happened in games in regular season where he just doesn't get involved enough. But you're the second, first option, give or take whatever night it is. You got to get at least 12 to 15 shots up every game. I mean, Ant had 13 last night. I believe D'Lo had like 10. Beverly had like 7. Like you got to get up 10, 12 shots for Karl Anthony Towns. You got to do that. And of course, it doesn't help when he's getting dumb offensive fouls, taking himself out the game, taking himself out of rhythm. But that's been the case for him this series. Had a good game 1, but in games 2, games 3, gets some foul trouble. Doesn't do that much on the offense. Doesn't do that much when it comes to rebounding the ball. I don't understand it. I mean, it just shows you how head and shoulders all these other teams were in the Western Conference compared to the Lakers, because Karl Anthony Towns destroyed the Lakers in their matchups. Destroyed them. But he's going against, a good team defense, and he's flustered. He's getting a bunch of fouls. Only 5 points. Again, 4 shot attempts. That is insane. I don't get that at all. Will Barton, though. The shot selection, him giving up a crucial defensive rebound later in the game, the bad defense in stretches of the game. But oh my god, man, that 29 footer he put up when it's a close game. I believe it's like a 5-point game. They got time left to make a comeback, and he puts up a 28 footer, bricks it. I couldn't believe it. They had 10-11 seconds left in the shot clock. I could not believe it. Nikola Jokic had an MVP caliber game last night, 37, 15, and 5. Great game for him. But it just wasn't enough, because when you got Will Barton doing what he's doing, Aaron Gordon starts off the game very slow. Now he did pick it up later, but when you start off the game very slow, you put yourself in a hole. Klay Thompson's going off, 26 points. Poole gets 20, I believe Curry had 20 as well, like 22, 23. Yeah, man. Just not good. I don't know how to explain it. I don't. I don't know how to explain it. I also lied. I said it's going to be a quick video. Now we're going to talk about the Utah Jazz for a bit. Utah Jazz, Dallas Mavericks, Game 3. The Mavs win by 126 to 118, I believe, for Game 3. Let me make sure I got this right. Yes, they won Game 3 by 8 points. They were up like 15 at one point in the game. Jazz make a run. One thing that was interesting is that Quinn Snyder did sit Rudy Gobert for some time, because he only played like 29-30 minutes. So they did go small at times, able to open up the offense, able to get some points. Doesn't really matter though, because all their guards are cooked defensively. Like they're just not good. They can't guard anyone. No one. Not Royce, not Mike Conley, Mitchell, Bojan, none of them. Jordan Clarkson, none of them can guard anybody. And yeah, like I'm not the biggest fan of Rudy. I'm not. I don't think he deserves two of his Defensive Player of the Year awards. I don't. But I mean, you can't blame him for all of this. Like, because I know he looked bad last year, which is fine. But like when the guards are so defensively cooked and they're just getting beat off simple counters, man, and these weak side rotations are just awful. I do not know what to say or do. I don't know. I mean, this works in regular season, but obviously teams aren't as scheming as well. They're not studying their opponent as well because they have another game within the next couple of days. But when you really get to sit down and lock in for an opponent for at least 4 games, the minimum 4 games, you get to find all the weaknesses. And obviously, the Utah Jazz's guards can't guard anybody. Like, they're a perimeter-oriented team, but they can't defend the perimeter. Rudy Gobert can lock up in the paint. But all they gotta do, just pick on one of the guards, any one of them. They get Rudy to help off the man in the corner. They make an easy corner 3. It's the Utah Jazz. They gotta blow it up. They have to blow it up. This is not going to work. And even if they able to survive this series, because I picked up winning in 6, which, yeah, I'm gonna change my mind to that. I'm gonna pick Dallas winning this in 6 because, I mean, they can't beat Dallas without Luka at home. I can understand you splitting on the road, but games 3 and 4 were must wins. They didn't win game 3. They may win game 4 tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me. I expect Jalen Brunson to have another good game because he's averaging, well, he is the highest playoff scorer currently when it comes to total points. Yeah, 24 in game 1. Wasn't the most efficient, but it's been very efficient in game 2 and 3. 41 points in game 2, obviously. 31 in game 3 last night. Yeah, that made him look like Michael Jordan. Like, the Utah Jazz making Jalen Brunson like Michael Jordan. He's had 10 assists in the last 2 games, only 1 turnover. So, he's doing everything right. And he's playing heavy minutes. And he is going to get a bag because of Utah. So, I know Jalen Brunson is very grateful for Utah. They're going to get him paid. As this series gets extended, that gives Luka more of a chance to come back, gets more healthy, and with Luka being back, Utah's chances of losing, increases a lot. I'm going to go with Mavs in 6 again. I flipped my pick. Again, I just have to state it. Utah's defense, its scheme, it works fine in the regular season. Teams aren't able to key in on opponents as much. You got back-to-backs, 3 games in 4 days, etc. But in the playoffs, when you got to focus on one team for at least 4 games, minimum 4 games, you really get to key in and scheming on all their weaknesses, figure out what they do well and what they don't do well. Utah Jazz has been figured out for quite a while now. Again, I think they have to blow it up after this season, because even if they manage to survive this series, even if Luka comes back, he doesn't play his best basketball, I believe thoroughly that the next time they play in the second round will beat them in 5 to 4 games. I really do. Because they're unable to win important games at home without the team's best player playing in that game, then they're not ready to play against an elite team when they have all their best players. They're not. So there you have it, folks. That's the Utah Jazz. Same thing every year when it comes to having good regular season success and flaming out in the postseason in embarrassing fashion. Again, you should ship out Rudy. You should ship out Donovan. Popular landing spots that again, you got fans theorizing about. Dallas would be a great fit for Rudy. Same with Atlanta. New York is the one spot I hear about when it comes to Donovan Mitchell. Maybe Miami, but I don't think they would want to give up some of those young assets. Well, mainly just Tyler Hero when it comes to making a trade. But there you have it when it comes to those guys. Yeah, Utah Jazz, they're finished. Because even if they survive this series, they won't survive the next one. Which is all fine and dandy if you like being, a small market team that goes out in the first, second round every year. If that's cool with you. Let's talk about today's 3 games. You got the Atlanta Hawks versus Miami. Atlanta's finally at home. Bulls, Bucks in Chicago for Game 3, and of course the Pelicans and the Suns in Game 3 in New Orleans. Now, it comes out I got winning all 3 of these games. I got Atlanta beating Miami. They'll try to make this a close series, make it 2-1. I believe Trey will shoot a lot better from 3. When it comes to the Bucks and the Bulls in Chicago, I got Giannis getting 33 and 12 with a few assists, a couple blocks. And when it comes to Phoenix and the Pelicans, they are a deeper team. But I'm just going to be looking for, major contributions from Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and DeAndre Ayton, maybe even Chris Paul tonight. That's how I got winning all 3 of those games. 2 road teams, 1 home team. I am aware that Devin Booker will not be playing tonight. I am aware that Chris Middleton will not be playing tonight. I still got the Suns and the Bucks winning those games on the road and without the way. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe, and I'm out.